Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Yeah, also here, not too much more to add to yesterday's video, but we want to take a look at the short-term price action here. This is the Binance chart, by the way. Also not too much to add to the Bitcoin video. So if you watch the Bitcoin video, you basically know the message already now. Don't switch off. Don't switch off. But no, let's take a look. I mean, yesterday in yesterday's video, right? It was the late video. I highlighted the different scenarios that are possible. We have the unique, no, it's not unique, but it's one of the rare occasions where in three highly probable scenarios, the support areas are basically a cluster. Yeah, so that means that all three key scenarios that I'm observing on the 4-hour or daily time frame, they are all pointing towards a similar support area, which I highlighted in the last video, sort of around the 1480 level, which doesn't mean we turn at 1480, but it might be we come down to 1420 or turn at 1500 in that region, which is why I'm starting to scale in probably today into Ethereum, Bitcoin to trade that range here. And I would expect maybe in the coming week or coming weeks further upside. Now I did explain in more detail what I'm doing, so I would encourage you not to just sort of ape in unless you really understand what I'm doing. Yeah, I did highlight it that I would do this. Yeah, starting to scale in with a smaller position size up here and then going larger as we go lower, risking or knowing that my entire position may not get filled, but that's fine. That's part of the game. But yeah, that's sort of what I think about. I might do that also with a grid bot in addition. We'll think about that today. Need to look at the charts. Was busy yesterday all day, so couldn't really have I watched the charts, but I need to think a little bit about my strategy further. But yeah, I think, don't make it too difficult for yourselves. I think that was the message from the last video as well. Think about what you want, what your plans are. Don't try to pick the perfect entry. You'll never get it. And if you get it, it's luck. It's not consistent. Scale into support, scale out of resistance, and don't make it difficult, right? A lot of people get stressed trying to pick the absolute low, and then sometimes it doesn't happen, and it goes the other way. Just scale into support, scale out of resistance. Don't be so worried about very short-term fluctuations. And even if you use leverage, which you should still adhere to normal risk management, which means don't risk more than 1 to 3% of your portfolio, which I know a lot of people who go leverage actually do that. They risk more. But even, if you still adhere to a proper position sizing, which you should be doing, then also there you shouldn't be too worried about fluctuations. Because in the end, it is, the amount of money that you risk per trade, or compare that to your portfolio size, shouldn't really differ. Not leverage, but I know how it is in reality. So either way, what we're looking here is at this ABC pattern. Now, funny enough, on Binance we had these wicks. The whales who led to these two wicks, knew exactly where the 38.2 fib retracement was. So I'm thinking they might have been watching these videos. Not joking. No, but it's funny that I don't see that on Coinbase. I see that on Binance here, these wicks. Don't know if we can trust them, but funny enough, it reached perfectly the 38.2 fib level. Yeah, remember what I said in the last video, that the ideal level for a fourth wave is the 38.2 fib level. So from that point of view, as far as I'm concerned, it did what it needed to do. I mean, it did it already down here because the 23.6 fib level is a valid resistance level for a wave 4, but the 38.2 fib level is the ideal level. Yeah, they can go up to the 50%, or they can even do more, but then it's not within this scenario anymore. So watching that now, if we get here a further downside pressure now, maybe we'll touch it again. It's a bit strange though. I'm not sure if I can trust them, because I haven't really seen that on other exchanges. So if I go, for example, to, and this is even ETH/USD, it's not even USDT. I mean, it might very well be if I'm just looking at ETH/USDT on, you don't even have it there, that wick. So it was really just on the ETH/USD chart. It's a bit strange. So I'm not sure if I can trust it, but it's on Binance, you can see it, not on Coinbase. I wouldn't put too much, either way, if they reach it or not, that level doesn't really matter for the analysis, because the wave 4 is in resistance anyway. Now, the way this currently looks, if I disregard those wicks because they are on no other exchange, could even say we're doing here something like an ascending triangle, possibly. Now, might be. However you want to frame that and see that. But it depends on if you count those wicks or not. Either way, it looks like sideways consolidation. Bitcoin is doing a pennant triangle, contracting triangle. For me, this still looks like further continuation to the downside. Okay, if it breaks above 1601, then I would consider the low is already in, because then we're breaking above the 50% retracement. Now, a wick above the 50% level is not enough. It needs to sustain there, and better clarity will be obtained as soon as we break into the wave 1 price region, because then it would invalidate this impulse to the downside, and that would be at 1620. So a break above 1620 would be even better. And that's, you know, from that point of view, you know, I'm still looking at another low, maybe 2 lows into the 1480 region, approximately in that region. Yeah, did explain all these fib levels in the last video. We've got, you know, we've got here 1488, we've got 1479, 1417, 1409. Only if it goes below 1409, I think we could get a drop to 1330, because this cluster of support that I highlighted ends at 1409. Then the next fib level support is 1330 and 1218. But until then, we have a chance to find support here, and down there at 1460 as well, we've got the previous wave 4 low. So there is a lot that's going on here. Therefore, I'm speculating in different scenarios. And if you're wondering those different colors, well, they come from the different scenarios and how I draw the fib levels, yeah. And I can even look at the Fibonacci extensions, which is a great way. I mean, I'm looking at this pattern to the downside currently as an ABC. So A wave, B wave, C wave. Now, as long as that's the case, we can measure the target, not by looking at the retracements, but looking at the extensions. And the so-called 1-to-1 ratio that we're looking at is sort of heading to like 1495. So also very close here to that 1488 level, to that 1479 level. Therefore, don't try to pick the absolute perfect entry. You most likely won't get it and might miss it. That's why I like the idea of scaling so much. And the grid bot is also doing exactly that. But yeah, at the moment, I would still look at further downside. Might already add a small batch at this level. I'm not sure. I need to think about that, and we'll update you later. But yeah, that's my view here. And yeah, as I said, one more low would be ideal here in this fifth wave. Maybe it's going to be 2. It could also be, and that's, I'm not entirely clear about that because it's micro counting. Don't trust it too much. It could also be that we've had here a small 1-2 hidden in here. This was the 3, 4, and we're now getting a 5 down in this third. Then there will be the main 4th and the main 5th. But it doesn't really change a lot in terms of targets. It's just that if I see another dip, sideways movement, then we know, okay, we'll probably have one more way to go. Instead of when we see one more dip and it recovers, maybe even in a V shape, then we know with a high likelihood that the low here of the 5th was already in. So, but yeah, that's my update about Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.